It's pretty humbling really to have an organisation like the Rabbitohs firstly want to be associated with the clearance diving branch, but secondly to have my son run out on Anzac Day in a jersey that I represent as well is, yeah, it's incredible. It'll be unbelievable.
It's pretty cool. I get to wear what I do on one side and what he does on the other. I'm just excited for him as well. When I was young, I knew a lot of the clearance divers. My uncle was also a clearance diver, and I knew a lot of the lads, and they were always good, and I knew what they were about. They're mad, so just getting to wear that for everyone, I'm excited.
A clearance diver is a multifaceted role, so the dive team's broken into different, we call them elements. We have the UDR, which is underwater damage repair, and we have MTO, which is maritime tactical operations, and we have MEOD, which is maritime explosive ordnance disposal. Particular times in your career, you'll float through those different elements, and as you progress in rank, you'll also upskill and do different courses. So I'm a qualified EOD technician and IED technician, whereas one of the able seamen that you would have seen earlier today, they don't have that qualification as yet because they haven't progressed in their career. Yeah, well, I think we're both probably in a unique position where, there's an enormous amount of pride in both uniforms. We both get to pull on a uniform, and there's a sense of pride associated with both of those uniforms. So realistically, for me to be able to see that has been incredible. I think sometimes it's really surreal. Obviously, we're very proud of him, but it's not just that moment where we see him run out. We think about him when he was a little kid running out playing footy at 5, 6 years old in an oversized jersey, or driving him to football, or all those things over the years that sort of lead to that moment, and it's a little bit overwhelming at times.
More probably learn through his actions than through his words. If he told us he was going to do something, he did it. That's called integrity, and that's an important part of being a man and an important part of, I guess, being a footballer as well. So a lot of things I do sort of comes back to that, just being honest and being a good man, and having some integrity about what you do, standing for something and taking accountability for what you're doing. We would always say that, for us to take accountability for our actions, and they have repercussions, and probably not so much what he says, it's just what we've seen growing up. At times there's hard conversations, and when we're doing the wrong thing, you needed to understand that. When you're kind of under pressure, everything you do comes back to how you've prepared. So that's a big part of being under pressure. Your body will go back to what it's practiced, and if you practice good habits, that's when you start to see the habits when you're under pressure, not under fatigue, and not sort of thinking.
In both our lines of work, you need to be resilient. It's not just all about you, it's about mateship. You need to be able to rely on your mates. People need to be able to take me at my word, and if I say I've done something, there's no one else checking that I've done that. If I've told my command that I've done a particular job and other people's lives are at stake, they need to take me at my word. And for Tallis in football, people need to know that they can trust him, that he's going to do his job, and he needs to be able to trust that his mates are also going to do his job. I think mateship's really, really important in both lines of work.
Especially with the group that we've got here, like you're looking at the person next to you saying, I don't want to let him down. If I got someone next to me, I know I got to turn up for him because I want to. You don't want to let your teammates down.
That mentality of sort of follow me is probably important to me, and I do see that in Tallis. He's probably not one for massive inspirational speeches, or probably won't give huge pep talks before the game, but he's the type of leader that will go out and say, let's get it done, come with me sort of thing. Obviously I'm immensely proud of what he's achieved and what's coming forward as well.
Making my family proud. I've had some messages from South fans that were in the military, and they say how proud they are to be a South fan and how proud they are that we have this partnership. I know it means a lot. I know it's bigger than a game of footy. To me, this is a close one because a lot of my family has been in the military, so getting to represent them with what I do, it'd be mad.